hip hop soul in the crowd. Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. It is the Rob and Stu Show. What a great week. I mean, who's got it better? We got a great show for you. I'm excited to talk to you folks today. Exciting times coming up. Bobcats Text Corner. That's a new segment that we're going to try out on the show. That's going to be electric.
Yes.
We've got a little game to play. It's called How Many Times Did Scotty Tweet About France? That's coming up. We're going to set an over-under, and you got to guess if it's over or it's under. It's a lot. But also, hey, divisional round, big NFL week. I'm normally not an NFL fan. It's pure AIDS, but this
Yeah,
year,
no, we should
season.
bring back some of those clips of you talking about the NFL.
Yeah, it's a great NFL season. I mean, it's just been so much fun. Rob, I'm just it was great. A lot of great action this weekend. Roberto, what did you do? How was your trip to Gulfstream and Tampa Bay Downs?
I have to say, outside of the absolute disgusting disaster that is the Philadelphia Eagles and just being a Philadelphia sports fan in general, the scene Monday was it was horrific, but you knew it was coming. I mean, I went down there because I was already planning to go to Florida. It's just that I changed a couple things, and I ended up going down there to watch the game.
Hindsight being 2020 and all, Roberto, right decision?
Oh, 1,000%. I had a blast. Okay. Outside of the game, absolute blast. I mean, my dad's
shout out to the
older.
boy Black Rob. Shout out.
Absolutely. Shout out to him. Shout out to my Uncle Bill. My dad. Listen, anytime you can hang with your dad like that for the entire weekend, I mean, it was an absolute blast, man. Friday, my flight got canceled. Friday night, I was supposed to fly out, so I had to switch it up, and I had to fly out. We had to fly out Friday morning to West Palm Beach. My uncle picked us up. We went over to Mar-a-Lago, coffee with Trump, the whole nine.
Boy.
Not to get political on the show.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be the first person on this show to have coffee at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Listen, did that, but he got us a great place at Hollandale Beach, right down the street from Gulfstream. You would have loved it. We're right across the just almost right on the beach, right across the street.
I'm going to ask you a question, Rob.
Yeah.
At Gulfstream and Tampa Bay Downs this week.
Yeah.
Approximately how many races did you play? If you had to guess.
I would say Friday. Friday I only got there for the last 3 at Gulfstream, so you figure 3 at Gulfstream, 2 at Aqueduct, and like 3 at Oaklawn. I can't count, but yeah, no, that was Friday's place.
That was Friday. Saturday
we're going. It was a full card from Gulfstream.
So you're betting like 14 or 15 races at Gulfstream Saturday.
Easily. Margaritas, the whole nine. Drinking beers.
You're doing Aqueduct.
Yeah.
And then Sunday you're playing a little bit. So I'm going to just say round about 40 races you bet over the week.
Oh, yeah. Well, probably more because then Sunday on the drive up to Tampa, I'm playing on my phone till we get to Tampa Bay Downs.
Oh, okay. So let's do 50. Let's do just an even 50.
Yeah.
Okay. How many races you win this weekend?
3.
Okay, cool. All right. So Gulfstream was great.
I'm the Kyle Schwarber of horse racing.
Apparently. So if you're a Schwarber now, those 3 races made up for the other 47, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was a.
So you came up even?
Oh yeah. No, and mixed into this is 2 casino trips.
Oh.
This wasn't just horse tracks. This was Gulfstream on Friday, Gulfstream on Saturday, and after the races are over at Gulfstream Saturday, me, my uncle, and my dad go to the Hard Rock down near Miami to watch the Dolphin game and get dinner and everything like that. Absolute scenes in that casino. Absolute scenes walking around there. They had a pool party going on.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, is this bathing suits?
You look like the type of guy that should be at a pool party.
Yeah, it was It was some scene in there. Thank
Did
God
you
the
rent
missus.
a
Thank
cabana?
God. Can I tell you what I did? So I took a picture. My
Oh,
dad was in a state of shock that these women were walking around in the Hard Rock dressed like this. So I took a picture of these women in bathing suits and I put it in my group chat. And my wife pulls, and I deleted the pictures
oh
out
no.
of my photo album. And what does my wife do yesterday when I get home? She looks up deleted photos that I deleted in my phone, and she's like, "Oh, this is nice. This is the kind of shit that you do when you're on vacation." And I'm like, "Ah, boy, it's just
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. And this is for the folks at home. If you think Rob's exaggerating, I called you up Saturday night and you're on the phone and I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing, man? Where are you watching the game?" You're like, "Oh, we're at the Hard Rock." And then you just start going full. I mean, this is like a scene out of Casino. You're just some broads walk up and they start asking you questions and you're like, "I don't work here, sweetheart. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you go down the street? Go
yeah,
walk down the street." I mean, I'm like, not on. Oh, Jesus.
yeah. It was a wild weekend, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Met up with Black Rob. We had a great time. So then Sunday, we went to Tampa for a couple races. Then we go over to the Hard Rock. Rob meets us. We go to dinner. And then my dad and my uncle, they're older gentlemen, you know. They're going back to the room. Me and Rob drank all night at the
Shocking.
bar. Yeah. Watched the Cowboys go down in a blaze, which was amazing because I knew our fate was coming on Monday. Any true Eagle fan knew
I
it
was
was going to
so
end
hoping you
Monday.
guys would come to Detroit. I was
Oh
so
God, we would have got slaughtered. I mean, Baker Mayfield treating us like a $2 hooker. Can you imagine what Goff and can you imagine what that Lions offense would
I
have given
can. I
to that
can.
Eagles
And what
defense?
we would do to Matt Patricia and his garbage bag
Oh my
back
God,
in
he's
Ford
so bad.
Field. Oh my God, it would be
I would
so
have
pathetic.
watched that game if they would have played the Lions. We would have just hooked up a Devo battery in my basement live to my walls, and we could have just watched the game. If I had to watch Nicholas Murrow trying to tackle,
You know what I would do? I would send you
yeah,
one of those shot collars, and every
yeah,
time the
yeah, yeah,
Lions
yeah.
scored, you had to shock yourself. It would have been electric, literally.
I got to tell you though, we got to make a trip. I tell you, downtown Tampa, really nice. Where the Lightning play, we were down over there where the Eagles team hotel was. Absolutely gorgeous downtown Tampa. Seen where Jeter built that fortress down there where Brady was living. I mean, Tampa is a really nice city. I have to say, really clean. The stadium, really good time. Almost like a college atmosphere, I'd say. Not as much people park like 20 minutes
I saw
before the
quite a few.
game.
I saw quite a few Eagles jerseys in the crowd.
It was 60-40, $60, 40 Eagles. There was a lot of Eagles, but that's anywhere you go. Eagle fans travel well.
I don't know, man. I don't. If the Eagles are playing in Detroit,
Oh, there's tons of Eagle fans.
I don't know that you're even getting 90-10. It might be 95-5.
Oh, if the Lions are really good, yeah, but Eagle fans travel very well. There's a lot that live in Florida. You know, any kind of East Coast team, whenever they go down to Florida, they take over. You know, it's like one of those things. Florida doesn't have, they don't have that kind of following. It just, none of the teams down there do. The Rays, the Panthers, the Marlins. I don't know. It's just not, there's so much else to friggin' do in Florida that sports just aren't a big thing. I mean, what the hell else is there to do in Philadelphia and these other big cities? This is
South Philly
sports.
OTB.
Sports is everything. Yeah, sports is everything. But, anyways, I mean, sports are dead, so who cares? But
Yeah, well, who
yeah,
cares?
no, I got to
Exactly.
stay. Yeah,
Could you imagine
incredible.
caring
Minus
about
the game.
football?
I mean, minus the game, just what an absolute embarrassment for the team. The defense was absolutely atrocious. The offense just sputtering again. Absolute joke. Hurts was horrific. The team was horrific. And now in Eagles Twitter, you have, are you okay? If you say something bad about Hurts, you're a hater, you're not a supporter. If you say something bad about Sirianni, now you're defending Hurts, yada, yada, yada. Listen, Sirianni did a horrific job down the stretch. The team did a horrific job down the stretch. Hurts did a horrific job down the stretch. Everybody was bad. Everything was bad. They were murdered on December 2nd by the Niners, and their dead corpse got one win versus the Giants because DeVito started that half. Tyrod plays, we probably lose every freaking game. It was a disaster. They lost a lot in free agency this year. They weren't the same team. You had that vibe all season, even though they won the games. They need to go to work this offseason. They need to change their offensive and defensive staffs. They need to draft better. They need to get some linebackers. They need to really focus on this defense getting younger. The offense really needs to go to work. You know, it's funny. Sirianni was quoted before this season saying, I don't really think we need a scheme change in the new year. We just have to hone in and do what we need to do better. Well, you need a scheme change. You know, the NFL has figured you out. They figured out the six-pack offense. Hurts needs to play better. He's starting to drift in the pocket again. He was just average this year. You know, he's a $250 million quarterback. He's held to a higher standard. 11-6 and a wild card is not good enough. It's not good enough with this roster, with guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and this offensive line. This team really needs this offseason. They need to get better. They need to just shut up. Stop talking all the time. Get back to playing Eagles football. 11-6 is not
Podcast still okay?
Yes. Yeah. Podcast is fine. Yes.
Okay. They can still have their own podcast. Okay.
Just, yeah. You know, I'm just, and my wife is, Courtney's laughing because when I came home today, she's like, oh, the girls at work, they're worried about you. You know, they want to know how you're doing at the end of the season. And I'm like, well, you know, just thank God it's over because it was torturous. And she's like,
I'm going to tell
this is you after every season. You're happy that thank God it's over. And she said, like she said today, the cycle starts again. It'll be spring training. Then it's the draft. Then it's your hopes up. Then it's this. Then it's that.
No, it's a life cycle, the circle of life.
The circle of life.
It's similar. I knew you would just be, I've seen you in this mode where it's like you're just utterly just dead. You're dead inside. You're not angry dead like you were at the Super Bowl. That's not pleasant.
No, this is a dead. This is dead. Yeah.
This is just a dead, numb feeling inside. Whereas that one was like you lost part of your soul that day.
Oh, yeah, because I definitely thought, and we all did at 10-0 at the half, we were going to get another Super Bowl.
We were looking great. But I've got a buddy at work, and he's probably listening to this. Shout out to Dustin, D Nice. And look, he's a Cowboys fan, but he's going through it today. Like I had a friend of ours go, hey, have you talked to Dustin yet? And I go, no, absolutely not. I'm not bringing up the Cowboys game. He's just in it. He'll be all right. He'll be okay. But we were thinking about doing some real degenerate shit like a UFL fantasy football league. Drafting Michigan. That's real sicko hours.
Yeah. Talia Tagovailoa first pick. Yeah, that's
actually that's probably not far from the truth. But
no, it's not.
I asked him. So we're going to cancel that. He goes, oh yeah, that's definitely not happening. I'm not talking about football for at least 7 months.
Yeah, see, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be angry sad because you played great pretty much the whole season. You overcame the deficit to beat your biggest rival. You win the division on the last week of the season. You have a 2 seed. You have, a cakewalk to the NFC Championship game, basically. They're handing it to you. And you come out and play like that versus Jordan Love and the Packers, versus the Packers defense, which is terrible. That was unbelievable. I bet Dallas. I didn't think there was a chance in hell they would lose. That was an incredible job. Eagles and Cowboys both, just absolutely embarrassing this year.
Well, my thoughts and prayers to both of you. Although I'm a little mad at him because he will not support the Lions.
How could you not support the Lions?
I don't know. I've told him that, like, hey, there's some rumor and innuendo out there that Baker Mayfield supports ISIS-K. There's some rumor and innuendo. Are you going to be for that, against that, indifferent?
I'd say I don't want to jinx you because I'm not happy for you. I'm happy for Papa Stu. Papa Stu deserves it. He's up there looking down right now at his Lions with the biggest smile.
It would be the biggest joke. It would be the funniest joke. ever. He never got to see it. And then he's dead. And then a few months after he's dead.
I said to you this year when your dad passed, did I not say it to you? I said the Lions are going to go for your father.
Yeah. There's still a hefty price here.
This is, I said to you today, if you're a Lions fan and you went to bed last weekend and you're thinking, God, what was a dream scenario? The dream scenario was to get Tampa Bay in your building.
I think it was to get Philly, man.
Oh, man, yeah, Philly, yeah, absolutely. The way they were going, yeah, probably. But come on, Tampa Bay stinks. Please, you get Baker
I think, quite
Mayfield.
frankly, the dream scenario is the Packers upset the Niners, which we should get to. We got to go through some games here. But first, before we do that, new segment on the Rob and Stu show here. It is called Over or Under. Roberto, you ready to play?
Go. We're ready.
One Scotty tailgate season. He went on a trip to Paris. Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Okay. Now here's
Big
the
Ben,
question.
the monument, the whole nine.
That's England, but sure.
Oh, that's England. Okay.
Yeah. Close.
Okay.
Close.
That's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're splitting hairs.
Well, not really, two different countries, but sure. We're gonna play a game here. How many tweets did Scotty put out about France? Now you got to say in England almost. France. Okay. Over or under 31 and a half?
I'm going to say over.
Over or under 36 and a half?
Over.
Over or under 41 even?
Under.
Went 2-1 today. Good. Starting off this segment with a winning record. Scotty put out 44 that I counted.
Okay.
Now that's in a 2-day period, 2.5-day period. Yeah. So pretty much every hour, Scotty was tweeting. So thank you for that, Scotty. We're going to bring that back when you go on your trip to Dublin to see Florida State.
That looked like a nice time.
It looked like fun. I don't know. Scott's got to come out next time he's on. He's got to explain to us this house music thing. It looks like he's
no, I'm not privy to the house music. Yeah,
he looks like he's coming out of like the set of Blade or something. Every single time he goes out.
Some of those bars look like a good time. Everybody says going over there is a good time.
I guess. Well, when you're rolling with his crew.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scotty. Let's get to the games. Roberto, Saturday, we kick off the divisional rounds. Which one you want to go to? Isn't the Bills or is
at any game at any of the big spreads this weekend? I feel like this is the team with the best shot at an upset, right? Houston Texans coming in, not an experienced team, but just young and dumb enough to go in there and beat this team. Baltimore's been really good. Don't get me wrong. You get a rookie quarterback on the road, but DeMeco Ryans, to me, and obviously going to be coach of the year most likely. I think he could put a plan together against Lamar. One of these number one seeds usually always slips up, or they usually come out a little bit slow. Some years they don't. I mean, most of these number one seeds, I think Dallas is like the only number one seed in the last 10 or 12 years that didn't make it to the Super Bowl. You just really do hate to see that. That's tough. 2016 lost to the Packers at home as the 1 seed. 2023 2 seed lost to the Packers at home. That's a shame. Anyways, the stats get crazy. The stats just you hate to see it for Dallas
numbers, history. I mean, it all builds into it.
Everything. But I think Houston has the best shot, definitely to cover. I love Houston first half. I think the Ravens probably will get their feet underneath them closer to halftime, and in the second half they'll probably start to pull away. But I really like this Houston number, and I especially like the first half number. If you can get it at, usually it'll probably be around 4.5. I see 5, 4 in most places, 4.5. So Houston first half, Houston game if you want to stretch it, but Houston first half is a strong play for me on Saturday. We moved to the San Francisco and Green Bay game. Listen,
Whoa,
Green
whoa!
Bay.
I don't get to opine about Texans Ravens.
Oh no, you will. I was going to let you do your Saturday after I did my 2 picks. That's up to you. You can go
Well,
ahead.
let's
Go
just
ahead.
go big game by game.
Okay, big game by big game. Go ahead.
I do
This
kind of
is your
agree.
weekend. I'm just dead, by the way. So you just
Oh yeah,
whatever you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
do.
Okay, I'll direct you. We're welcome back to the Stewcast, everybody. Texans, I do agree with you. I think the Texans do cover. I think this team is a completely different team than they played in September. My only concern is that dome to outside transition. It's going to be 20 degrees. It's going to have just snowed a day prior. It's going to just be ugly. And I feel like the Ravens are just at a point where this will be really, really ugly. And they're not going to get blown apart in man coverage like the Brownies did. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. They couldn't get pressure. They really couldn't do anything right defensively against the Texans. So I think that's going to be a different story against the Ravens. 9 is juicy, though. I see 9.5 is still out there. It's starting to drip down to 9. I don't know. This to me would be a teaser pleaser game. If I'm doing a little bit of a tease, I would take the Texans.
Okay.
Packers, Niners, sir. Niners laying 9.5 some spots, over under 50.5. I'll let you begin.
I mean, in this spot, I think San Francisco is just so head and shoulders above any of these teams left. It would just be Shanahan has been known for these epic meltdowns. I know that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, but he really has been. But boy, they have just outside of those 3 weeks in October, early November, where they had that slip up. I mean, this team has just been a machine. You were there that day with me in Philadelphia. They're just one of those teams that looks laser focused. They're ready to go. This is their time. The number one seed. You know, the Packers come in. The Packers had a great season. Jordan Love's first full year at starter made great strides. The buck stops here. This Green Bay defense stinks. How Dallas even made them look halfway decent. Come on, Tampa went in the Lambeau and destroyed them. I mean, this is not a good Green Bay defense. They lost to Tommy DeVito. Okay, please. Barkley had the game put away and he fumbled and gave him a chance to tie that game. This Green Bay team is not much. I think San Francisco absolutely rolls in here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's
100% agree.
45-3. Yeah, this is a total blowout. And
I
Green Bay had a
think
good
Vegas
season.
is begging you to bet the Packers. They are
Yeah, oh,
begging you to
absolutely.
bet the Packers. I
Absolutely.
think the Niners steamroll them here. Although, and I'll bring up a few things. Jordan Love throws from a clean pocket against the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and he was successful. Jaden Reed didn't touch the ball once in the game. Aaron Jones coming back, rush. What the Cowboys played against from the Packers side, Musgrave was healthy and back.
Yeah.
Watson was playing. Aaron Jones was healthy. Like, this wasn't the case most of the season for the Packers. They're starting to get guys healthy into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it allows them to do different things offensively. Wicks is a catcher. Melton has made plays. Reed makes plays. Dobbs makes plays. Watson makes plays. They got 2 tight ends that make plays. I mean, they got a lot of playmakers. I think the Niners, but it's all predicated on a clean pocket. I think the Niners, just like you said, they get a ton of rush on them. And Niners. Let's go to the main event of the weekend, though, Roberto. The Kittens hosting the Pirates.
Let's give you the floor here. What is the vibe as a Lions fan? What is the whole deal now? This is the divisional round of the playoffs. You have not been here. You called me today for some coaching, how to act, how you feel in a game like this.
I was starting to get violently, physically and emotionally sick watching the Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
I really, truly believe the Lions win this game. And
I don't think there's any doubt.
I think there's some doubt. And there is a way I think that the Lions do lose this game. I mean,
Where?
remember they already played at Tampa in October, 120-6. Lions couldn't get a run game going. Goff
Still,
did
Tampa
okay.
stinks. Still, that game Monday night, they gave the
I
Eagles any chance to get back in that game. Now, the Eagles are so bad they couldn't even do anything. But Tampa, come on, Detroit is the better football
I
team.
yes. And the way the Lions picked up blitzes against the Rams, who were blitzing every single, it felt like 2 or 3 times every
Bowles is
series.
going to dial it up.
Bowles is going to dial it up. I have a ton of respect for him defensively. I honestly I like the under here, and I don't want to be that guy. 7 is a little too rich. If this number creeps up to 7, I think the Bucks become a play. 6.5 is probably right in the sweet spot. I doubt it gets up to 7, but I don't think the Lions
I'm moving it up. I'm moving the Lions minus 12, 13.
reverse lining.
Reverse line. I don't even think this is close. The Lions have they proved it when they went into Dallas and should have won that game. They are the second best team in the NFC. They deserve to be in the NFC Championship game. They really do. They deserve to have their shot to go to San Francisco and try to knock off this juggernaut that is the 49ers. Detroit is so much the better football team. And Tampa Bay, a lot like Green Bay, has had a nice season. Everybody thought Tampa Bay was going to tank. Baker Mayfield's had a comeback season. He's played decent. Their defense, they have pretty good players on defense, Tampa. They're okay. They blitz. Levante David, they have,
Well,
good
they're
linebacker, Tony
leveraged out
Winfield.
cap wise. I mean, they're making do with what they can.
Yeah. Winfield's a great safety. I love him. He's a
they got
player.
some studs. They got some playmakers
Yeah.
there. I respect their defense. I think their defense is pretty solid. Offensively, they're not going to get a run game going.
No.
That run game is putrid. That's
Not
why I
good.
like the under here. I think we're looking at 17-28.
Yeah.
17-24, something like that.
Lions roll. I hope for your guys' sake. I hope you enjoy it.
I hope the Lions win quick and easy, and it's just a rocking chair because I can't do this roller coaster week in, week out. Just for my health and my liver. Let's finish it up in the Great North near Fort Drum, New York. The Buffalo Bills Mafia hosting the Chieftains of Kansas City. I've seen the line at 2.5. Some places have it at 3. Totals 45.5. I love the Bills. I'm not buying what happened in Kansas City last week. I'm not buying that for a second. Tua's throwing ducks. It's negative 42 degrees wind chill. They have no interest in being there. They're missing 9 starters. Everybody's jacked up. That's a Dolphins team that was nose diving into the playoffs. I don't buy it.
The Dolphins were a lot like the Eagles. They were dead on arrival.
They were dead weeks ago.
Yes, exactly. A lot like the Eagles. Mirror teams, in my opinion. Yes, Kansas City, Buffalo. I'm gonna give you a wild stat here. I don't know if you could look this up. I'm almost positive. Okay. Andy Reid is undefeated in the divisional round. I don't think he's ever lost a divisional round game. He won 6 in his time in Philadelphia. I think he's won like 7 or 8 in Kansas City. I don't think he's ever lost in the divisional round. If he has, it's one time to the Patriots, I think, right? Or that was a championship game. I think it was a championship game. Championship game, he's got a terrible record. But I think divisional round, I don't think he's ever lost in the divisional round.
I'm looking. I can't get it.
I don't know if he's ever lost in that round.
I'll
tell you, Buffalo didn't blow me away last week playing the Steelers.
No, absolutely not. No, and I say I love them with. I'm gonna bet them, but and I'm loving my chances, but this is a 60% of the time they win, 40% of the time the Chiefs win. And I'm just gonna hedge my bets here and just say I'm on that 60% of the time because I'm betting on the Chiefs offense, which I mean Kelsey's a shell of himself. They really only have Rashee Rice and one of the greatest running backs from the Eastern Seaboard, Isaiah Pacheco. I don't. That's it. That's the Kansas City offense right now. That's it. And this Bills defense has gotten better, though. I think what you saw last week against the Steelers, they just lost interest. They just took their foot off the gas. I think that's probably because they're like, oh, we're playing Mason Rudolph. I don't expect that this week. I think they show up and they play hard. They're at home.
Breaking news: Mike McCarthy back.
Yes, and I heard Nick Sirianni back as well.
Sirianni, they're reaching out to different coordinators. Listen, I mean, NFL fans are wild. Like everybody wants this guy fired. And I understand they ended the season bad. The guy's record as a coach, I mean, 9 wins first year with a bad roster, playoffs. Last year, Super Bowl, 13 wins. This year, 11 wins. Yes, they were 10-1. They ended bad. I mean, you can't keep firing head coaches. It doesn't work in the NFL.
I will say, if you're going to fire a coach, this is the year to do it.
Oh, with Belichick out there, yeah. But he's never going to get along.
Putin,
Belichick's never going to get along with Howie Roseman. There isn't a chance.
No, but what about Vrabel?
I would take Vrabel. Here's the thing with Mike Vrabel, though, and I understand he's been decent. Tennessee had the number 1 seed, and they shit their pants at home. That's the furthest he's ever been in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's about a culture, though, and I think
that's fine. But what kind of culture?
I think the Eagles, for some reason, something happened this year where it's not there, and you've been talking about.
Yeah, on offense, they need to go back and they need to switch up things. They need a new voice in there for the offense. But here's my thing: you hire a guy like Mike Vrabel, you're going to hire him to fix your defense, which is fine. Okay, look at his offenses though, where he's been places, not good. You're going to go back and play football in the 1950s style.
Well, here's the problem too: is that when he got there, Tannehill just was a game manager. Tannehill 6-7 years ago had some seasons where he was okay, right? Yeah. And they built up other pieces of that offense. Yeah. By the time Tannehill was not tenable anymore, then they get forced to draft Malik Willis. Yeah. That was not a Vrabel pick.
No, absolutely.
Will Levis was not a Vrabel pick.
They had some bad roster things. But if your thing is the thing with the Eagles right now, it's like, okay, offensive, you need a new game plan. You need to change things up. You need to fix the defense. Well, if you hire Vrabel, he'll fix the defense. But who the hell's going to fix the offense? You know what I'm saying? Like in today's league, I'd rather stick with an offensive-minded head coach.
It's like, who are you going to pick for OCs? I mean, where are they getting these OCs? I mean, look at Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson came to the Lions, 2.5, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
He's going to be Washington's head coach.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Pay him huge money. Fucking slow pick. Slovic or whatever, the Texans OC. He's going to get a head coaching job.
Yeah.
And he's been an OC for 2 years. You have one good season as an OC,
it's
gone.
Very risky. It's very risky. You don't know how these guys are going to be as head coaches. It's very risky.
Yeah, I don't know. The coaching carousel of the NFL is wild. In some aspects, to me, it's more wild than the NCAA. But speaking of which, we go.
I like the Chiefs Sunday. By the way, the Chiefs would be my pick in that spot.
Okay, well, we're going head to head. I usually win those, so just saying.
Not wrong.
Just reading some of the early returns from Cowboys fans. This is so fucking dumb, quote unquote, is pretty much the general
Yeah, I would
consensus.
imagine they're not that happy.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot going down. But we wanted to end this show with a new and reoccurring segment called Corner with Bobcat. Now, Roberto, you brought this up because Bobcat is banned on every social media platform.
Yes, he was banned after that.
Okay, so we want to do check-ins with the Bobcat since he can't always make the show. And we just love sharing our text threads with everybody. So, on Caleb Downs, I hope he gets paid. He's probably the best safety to play the game of football. He's a created player. If he stays healthy, he's going to be the best football player there ever was in the history of football. Also, I might commit suicide if we hire Jim Harbaugh as the next Falcons coach. I'm going to unalive myself. That was Corner with Bobcat. Some really a lot of suicide talk from Bobcat.
Yeah, wild. Bobcat's wild. Bobcat, how about when he said after Saban retired, oh, I can go back to not being stressed out during Saturdays. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Okay, your stressful Saturdays have just started. I
Oh
said
yeah.
that when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh, I won't even care anymore about Sundays. Yeah.
I can't wait. Have you seen the mass exodus? Oh, by the way, Bobcat told me, Kalen DeBoer, he was in the lab. He was watching game film from Washington. Okay, we got snowed in a couple days here. He's
Yeah.
been in the lab watching game film. Okay, you want to hear early returns?
Not good.
We're gonna have an exciting offense. He has a lot of different concepts. I don't think too many motherfuckers seen.
I
I
don't
hope
care.
talk that
Listen, when you're a fanatic, it doesn't matter. You can go through the worst runs with your teams, right? Like, but there's always that hope the day of the game, like maybe something will click. You never know. Maybe you'll get a play. Maybe
I
this.
cannot wait for the Music City Bowl rematch when Michigan State takes on Alabama this year. That's gonna
They
be
could be in the
something.
Pinstripe Bowl. I don't know if they'll be
Oh,
that
they
good.
don't want Rutgers. They don't want
Well,
Coach Shiano.
we all know deep down that's the reason Saban walked away.
Yeah, we know. Well, that's I've read that on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Yeah. All right, Roberto. You don't have any new plans to go to any city to watch NFL playoff games this weekend?
No, no,
Dad.
done. See you in September.
Draft book. Does this mean we're getting 24/7 focus
Yeah,
on the
I was
draft now?
actually. Yeah, I think we're gonna, and I'm gonna start.
We got to
Some
get
weeks,
that Excel together.
if you're busy, I'm gonna start too. I think I want to start doing once a week after the Super Bowl's over. I'm gonna get into a draft show once a week. I think on here a little bit and talk
Okay.
some
I like
prospects
it.
and give an absolute slob's opinion that sits on
We
the couch and
we are going to
drinks beer.
have it's going to be electric. It is going to be a draft show every single week with Roberto.
Yeah,
That's going to be something.
just 3, 4 defenses. Then I can just go into my diabolical Eagles thoughts. Just like Frank the Tank, like that one Mets one, absolutely hilarious. He's stirring the punch for his Hawaiian fruit punch. He's just like they used to give stuff like this away when they had a good offense and they were fun watching. And he just goes back to stirring the punch real calm. But this is if it wasn't for Courtney, I would be Frank the Tank. My apartment would be nothing but Eagle shit, wall to wall, and I would just be at like 2 a.m. randomly, like, yeah, I don't know why we drafted Quez Watkins or why is Quez Watkins on the field on a 3rd and 2. Well, and we're running deep routes on a 4th and 1. It hurts his face mask was grabbed on a just screaming out loud obscenities about the Eagles. It's just, But I will say, Courtney got me one of
It's
the
why
best.
you and Frank got along so well.
Yeah, Courtney got me one of. Yeah, that's true. Courtney got me one of the best birthday gifts. She got me a cameo from Randall Cunningham, which
Oh my
was
God.
unbelievable. Yeah, really good, really good. So I got to say, it was a really cool gift.
Well, that's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
But I think me and Bobcat can beat it. I think we can beat it.
A
He's
weatherman
actually-
cameo coming soon.
Well, you'll have a cameo, all right. It'll be David Goggins at your house with a boat.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah, get your fat ass up and let's go.
That's your birthday present. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I'd be remiss. Did you see that NCAA football's coming out?
Yep. Oh
They
yeah.
have a
I know.
date. Oh, okay, here's my question. I know you don't have a system. Will
No.
you buy a system just to play NCAA football and recruit players?
I would, but Courtney would
nil.
kill me if I bought a system just for that. I should get Bob to buy me the system. I'll work it into like Rutgers getting NIL money if you buy a system.
You will have Rutgers. You will be able to work the portal.
Yeah.
You will be able to go on scouting trips,
Yeah.
build out the nil. I mean, recreate the Big East. This really does feel like something you need to have in your life.
It's just I'm just
I had a child just around this time, so I could take 3 months off work and not be fired.
your
That's
poor
how
wife.
committed I am.
Your poor wife.
Screw her. This only comes around once.
Well, you did, and now look at your lot.
Yeah, while jokes on her, I'm not going to be tending to any of the children.
Yeah. And she's a beautiful woman. I have no idea.
Here's my thing.
No
Rob.
idea what she saw in you. No idea.
When you have to make a recruiting trip to Southwest Arizona because you're the head coach of New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to go see the kids. You got to go see the players.
That's right. You're not lying.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Dedication.
Exactly. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, brush your hair. We'll see you after a while.